Hey y'all, it is April 23rd, 2024. It's full moon today. So I've pulled out our full moon card. We're going to go ahead and get a feel for what the full moon energy. It's full moon in Scorpio. So let's find out what our insights and allies can be for this lunar cycle. I did a little bit of research and it looks like full moon in Scorpio can bring about changes in heart and mind, and can be quite intense. So, and the full moon is both, like it's a completion of something. We usually look at it in that energy of like, what do we need to release? What do we need to let go? And it also usually reveals something to us. So with that energy, it's a revelation. So let's see. So shift. I mean, we just talked about the fact that it being in Scorpio, it being a possible change of heart or mind this lunar cycle. So it may be a change of heart or mind about something that we maybe we don't have yet, like the vision of it. We may not even be aware of it yet, what needs to shift in our life. But it's going to come during this cycle. So we will know. So let's get a little bit of insight from the tarot about that. So we're going to pull these cards back. Alright, we are going to get our insights into this full moon energy. What is it bringing up for us? What are we releasing? What is shifting this lunar cycle? Okay. Alright. We're looking at how we communicate with the world. How do we share our message? How do we express ourselves? We have family, we have love, we have support in our lives. The 10 of Cups is another kind of minor completion of a cycle. So we're talking about something else with the people in our lives that, maybe we're going to find a way to finally express ourselves to the people who are important to us, that support us, and bring about a shift in the relationships or in our lives based on that. And because of it, we're going to find a sense of peace. This is a lot of this is a lot of good things. This is a good shift. We are looking at what we want to pay attention to, though, is this right here. Like, this is what the light needs to shine on, is that what do we need to express? How are we expressing ourselves? And that is what needs to shift so that we can bring about a little bit more harmoniousness in our relationship. We want to also be mindful of not being a little bit smothering, of not, okay, so we're going to express ourselves, it's going to shift something in the relationship. We don't want that to become something that's overly goes the other way, because we are still learning to understand really where we are with ourselves. We're still in a position of really knowing, or learning what it is that we think and feel and about this situation. So if this is resonating true with anybody, again, this doesn't need to be the family that we're born into or even the family we're married into. This can just be like close-knit relationships, people that we have come along the way, have become our support system, our partners, our guides. And so realizing that this is going to bring about a good shift, a positive, pleasant shift in the relationship and our peace of mind for a while, but it may not stay that way, and we need to then become a little bit studious and analytical and really pay attention to our thoughts. And so this is probably this shift, this change of heart is not necessarily going to be a change of heart. It could be a change of heart, but what it's going to really lead to is a change in how we think about things, like our mindset and how we express ourselves. So I'm just going to move these back a little bit. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit of insight into that. Okay, so the dream cadaver. So as far as like the energy that we need to let go of, this cycle is really that negative energy, like that, those negative beliefs, that focusing on the negative. We really need to shift our focus to looking a little bit more positive, but I'm not really a fan of like the idea of like negative and positive. Like shift our focus from what's limiting to what creates flexibility. So the action is that, to become more flexible, but this is a little bit of also accepting some hard truths, some things that may be difficult to swallow. And really, because in the negativity, in the limiting beliefs is sometimes rooted a little bit into just the general, like, life is hard, life is pain, life is suffering. We have honest limitations, and in order to become more flexible, sometimes we have to just accept things that don't make us happy and aren't pleasant and learn to live with them, because we've been through a rough time. It's been a really tough time, and it's been painful. There's been a difficult time of pain and of feeling lost and alone, and like you're not really sure if you're like the security, the safety feeling hasn't been there. And so that's going to be the shift, is that we're actually going to be able to take, instead of letting those hold us back and limit us anymore, we're going to be able to take these experiences and we're going to be able to start anew and move forward from a little bit more wise position. And so that's probably what's going to help us really kind of look at being able to express ourselves and how we're expressing ourselves. Because if we are expressing ourselves only in the what do we not want for our life, only in the limiting, coming from that limiting position, it's going to affect our relationships. So if we learn to express ourselves in a more flexible way and a more accepting and compassionate way, that could help with these relationships and that peace, and initiate this new beginning, and then help us start to have that change in mindset. So let us get a message from the Oracle. Okay. Observer. All right, so that's like kind of the action, the first action that we need to take, because we've got the light of the new moon or the full moon, that's going to bring to light some things that we're unaware of. Okay, unless, you see something, again, this is a general reading, so I'm reading by my intuition, but if you intuitively see something in here that means something to you, that is just as important to the reading as what I say. But we need to take the light of the full moon that is bringing out, really showing us something, and the shift that's coming. If we don't even know that we have these limiting thoughts, or that we're being stuck in the negative, if we don't even know that we're not expressing ourselves true to really ourselves, then that's where the first step of action is to kind of observe and take some time too. And look, he's looking at the moon and the star. So he's looking at the night sky. That is observing what's hidden in the dark. Not, like, there's a difference between the kind of light that the full moon sheds on what's buried in our subconscious and what the sun sheds. And so you are looking at not the things that are right in front of you and super obvious. These are not going to be things that are obvious. They're not going to be things that are easy to acknowledge and easy to accept and easy to swallow. They are things that are going to be hidden in the darkness. So let's pull a plant ally for the month, or for the lunar cycle. Okay. All right, St. John's wort. So this is another one that's a little bit about finding some joy, and doing the things that will bring joy to you and letting yourself shine through. So this is, going back a little bit to this expression and expressing yourself in a way that really is true to you and, will do the best to make you feel radiant afterwards. St. John's wort is, and anything I say here is informational purposes only. Please consult a registered or licensed physician or medical health professional before taking any kind of herbal supplement, and especially St. John's wort is one that will interact with certain medications, and it is one that is not ideal for people with autoimmune disorder. So please do your research. However, historically, it's been used as a mood lifter, as one that helps with that. So, bring practices into your life that are going to help uplift your spirits. Again, we're talking about this full moon really needs to be releasing some of these negative, self-limiting beliefs and things that are keeping you down. Some of these things that are making it hard for you to move from the painful situation that you've been through that's been really hard to get through and move into the new beginning. So we need to release that. This is an herb of the sun, and so we have the sun right here, so we do have a little bit coming back in the fire. And so we're getting like a reaffirmation here of shining the light on what you need to help lift up your spirits so that you can feel confident to express yourself in a way that brings along some copaceticness to your relationships in your life for a little bit and helps you be more flexible. We have this pose almost being mimicked by her. So we're really looking at, like just going with the flow, dancing around the fire. What helps us get there? That's the shift. We need to shift from, the negative to taking that negative and letting it create a new beginning for us and moving forward in a different mindset. And so, but remember, our first step is we really need to observe for ourselves what the light is shining on, what's coming up, and what we feel needs to shift. So if you've made it this far with me, I love you for that. A happy full moon, everybody, and I'll be back with I'll be back with the May reading, Beltane, May Day, and then after that, the new moon reading. So, happy full moon, everybody.